Have you ever wondered why, when faced with overwhelming adversity, most of us choose to complain instead of taking a tool and starting to change? The desert is a cruel teacher, offering nothing but heat and silence to those who only wait for a miracle to fall from the empty sky. At the edge of existence, where hope seems like a distant memory, a choice must be made between yielding to fate or defying the very sun. Complaining is a heavy anchor that keeps us stuck in the parched earth, while action is the shovel that eventually reveals the hidden springs of life. If today was the very last day that hope existed in this world, would you be the one kneeling in prayer or the one standing? True strength is not found in the loudness of one's voice, but in the quiet determination of a heart that refuses to accept a dry well. While the world sleeps in the comfort of its own despair, the visionary prepares for a journey that requires more sweat than most can imagine. Every great transformation begins with a single step taken in silence, far away from the applause and the judging eyes of a tired, broken society. In the midst of the swirling chaos of life, only those with a clear purpose can remain unshaken by the storms that frighten the average man. Preparation is the silent half of success that no one sees, the sharpening of the mind and the body for the grueling work that lies ahead. The air is thin and the challenges are many, but the weight of doing nothing is far heavier than the weight of a heavy iron shovel. Inside every person who succeeds is a fire that was lit when everyone else was content to sit in the dark and wait for dawn. Scale is irrelevant to the man of action, for even the largest mountain can be moved if one is willing to carry away small stones. Will you be the one who quivers at the sight of the wasteland, or the one who picks up the tool to dig for hope? In the heart of this forgotten land, a community has reached the end of its strength, withered by a drought that has lasted for generations. The ground screams for a drop of rain, but the clouds have long since abandoned this place, leaving only the heat to consume the remaining life. Hunger is a silent guest here, but thirst is a loud master that dictates every movement and drains the spirit of even the most resilient souls. Desperation has turned into a ritual as the people cling to the only thing they have left, the hope that a miracle will eventually arrive. When the stomach is empty and the throat is dry, the mind often retreats into a state of lethargy, waiting for a savior to appear. Tradition tells them to wait, to pray, and to endure, yet they forget that the greatest form of prayer is often the work of hands. Each day the sun rises, it brings only more heat, and the prayers grow quieter as the villagers lose their will to fight against fate. Time is a luxury they no longer possess, yet they spend it in the shadows of their own despair, hoping for a change from above. In this environment of total decay, it is easier to give up than to stand up, easier to cry than to sweat for a solution. But amidst the sea of bowed heads, there is one who refuses to wait, a man who understands that the heavens rarely help the idle. He looks not at the sky for rain, but at the earth for a secret, knowing that life often hides beneath the layers of hardship. To those who have accepted defeat, the sight of someone still trying is often an insult to their own sense of victimhood and helplessness. He marks the battlefield where he will fight his war against the desert, a small circle that will soon become a gateway to survival. The crowd continues their chants, unaware that the real miracle is about to begin right at their feet, driven by a single human will. Even in the darkest times, the act of starting something new can plant a seed of wonder in the hearts of the next generation. The first blow is always the hardest, for it is the moment when a dream officially transitions from a thought into a physical burden. With one strike, he breaks the silence of surrender, declaring to the desert and the community that he is no longer a victim. It looks like nothing more than a scratch on the surface of the world, but it is the beginning of a revolution against the drought. As the day ends, the villagers retreat to their homes, leaving the solitary figure to toil in the growing shadows of the coming night. His shadow grows long and strong, a dark silhouette of persistence that stands in stark contrast to the fragility of the resting villagers nearby. While others sleep and dream of rain, he remains awake, transforming his exhaustion into the very foundation of a future he alone believes in. Success is written in the language of scars and pain, a vocabulary that those who only wait for luck will never truly understand. The desert is cold at night, a different kind of hardship, yet his internal fire keeps him warm as he delves deeper into the earth. Time becomes irrelevant when you are focused on a goal that is greater than your own comfort or the limitations of your physical body. A brief moment of reflection, a silent communion with the universe, and then back to the grind, for the earth will not yield easily. Progress is slow and often invisible to the casual observer, but for the one doing the work, every inch is a hard-won victory. The wind mocks his efforts, trying to fill the hole with sand, but he simply scoops it out and continues his journey toward the water. The cycle begins anew. And while the village wakes up to the same despair, he wakes up having moved closer to his ultimate goal. Beneath the soft sand lies the true test of character, the solid rock of reality that breaks those who are not truly committed. Pain is the price of entry for the extraordinary, a tax that must be paid in full before the earth gives up its hidden treasures. Every swing is a battle against the urge to quit, a physical manifestation of a will that refuses to be broken by mere stone. When you begin to do what others cannot or will not do, the first thing you will encounter is not support, but ridicule. They call him a fool for digging in a graveyard of hope, unable to see that the graveyard only exists in their own limited minds. The opinions of the crowd are like the desert wind. They may blow fiercely, but they have no power over the man who knows his path. To react to the small-minded is to lose your rhythm, so he remains silent, letting his progress speak the only words that matter. The heat is a physical wall, an invisible weight pressing down on him, trying to force him to his knees alongside the others. Even the strongest must pause. But there is a difference between a pause to recover and a pause to surrender to the difficulty. He understands the value of a single drop better than anyone, which is why he is willing to spend his life finding the ocean. The pile of discarded stones is a monument to his endurance, each one representing a moment where he could have walked away, but didn't. Society often ignores the process of greatness, only showing up when the water starts to flow, forgetting the blood spilled in the silence. There, in the darkness, is the first hint of success, a dampness that feels like a miracle to his calloused and bloodied fingertips. Validation doesn't come from the cheers of others, but from the quiet realization that you were right to trust your own vision and work. Adrenaline is the reward for the persistent, a second wind that carries the warrior through the final and most difficult stages of the journey. The deeper you go, the lonelier it gets, but the closer you are to the source of life that everyone else has simply forgotten. His sweat is the first water this earth has seen in years, a sacred offering from a human soul to the parched heart of nature. The rhythm changes, the struggle shifts, and the world begins to yield to the man who refused to be stopped by the surface appearances. Skepticism turns to silence when the first signs of results appear, for reality is a much more powerful argument than any set of words. Even the critics will eventually lean in to see if you have found what they were too afraid to even look for themselves. He is not digging for them, nor is he digging against them. He is digging for the truth that lies at the bottom of effort. The moon finds its reflection in the deep, a celestial nod to the man who brought light to the dark depths of the desert floor. In this small, muddy puddle lies the justification for every blister, every insult, and every hour of agonizing loneliness he has endured so far. The first touch of success is always the sweetest, a cold and wet reminder that the impossible is merely something that hasn't been done yet. He has bridged the gap between the dead surface and the living core, a human conduit for a miracle that he created with his hands. The earth itself begins to groan as the pressure of the hidden reservoir finds an escape through the hole he has painstakingly carved out. Preparation meets opportunity in a violent collision of nature and will, as the long dormant forces of the earth prepare to surge upward once again. The first spray of life, clear and cold, a baptismal moment for the one who refused to believe that the world was truly and completely dry. His laughter is the first joyful sound this village has heard in years, a signal that the reign of the drought has finally been broken. One man, one tool, and one unwavering belief have changed the destiny of a land that everyone else had already given up for dead. In the deepest part of the night, when the world is most silent, the quietest victories are often the ones that carry the most weight. The water rises like a ghost from the past, reclaiming its place in the world through the doorway that a single man's courage has opened. The very thing that was once a dream is now a physical reality, surrounding him with the cold, wet embrace of a hard-earned and deserved success. Even in their sleep, the people can feel it, the return of a possibility they had long ago buried under the weight of their own cynicism. He leaves the depths behind, carrying with him the knowledge that he has touched the very source of life that others only dared to pray for. The work is done, the battle is won, and now the man who fought alone can finally rest on the ground he has just saved. The morning sun greets a new world, one where the desert is no longer an absolute master, but a landscape that can be tamed by will. Disbelief is the first stage of realization for the crowd, as they see the physical proof of what they once called an act of madness. The taste of truth is unmistakable, a refreshing clarity that washes away the bitterness of years spent in the service of a hopeless and dry fate. The community gathers not to pray for water, but to witness it, drawn to the well by the magnetism of a miracle made of human sweat. He does not seek their thanks, for the work itself was his reward, and the water is enough of a testimony to his character and strength. In the joy of a child, the man sees the true value of his labor, the gift of a future that is no longer defined by scarcity. The jars that were once symbols of emptiness are now vessels of life, being filled by the very thing they were designed to hold so long ago. Respect is the silent apology of the skeptic, a currency that is earned only through the undeniable results of one's own persistent and lonely labor. Every drop is a promise kept, a testament to the fact that the earth still holds secrets for those who are willing to dig for them. Nature responds immediately to the presence of life, as the first green leaves begin to challenge the dominance of the brown and gray desert landscape. The hero's journey ends in the same silence it began, for the true master of himself needs no monument other than the work he leaves behind. Perspective is the final gift of success. Once you have conquered your own desert, the entire world begins to look like a garden in waiting. Peace is found in the alignment of vision and action, a state of grace that belongs only to the one who has finished his difficult task. The story of the well is the story of every great achievement in history. It starts with a single person who refuses to accept the status quo. Legacy is not what we say, but what we build. It is the infrastructure of hope that continues to serve long after the builder has gone. From above, the village is no longer a scar on the desert, but a vibrant oasis that stands as a beacon of what is possible. Contentment is the quiet after the storm of effort, the realization that you have left the world slightly better than you found it that day. The language of the land has changed, from a cry of pain to a song of growth, all because of one man's refusal to quit. Scars are the medals of the soul, proof that you were willing to fight for something more important than your own temporary and fleeting comfort. Remember that every desert hides a well, and every well is guarded by the rock of your own doubt and the fear of the unknown. The source is infinite, but the access is limited to those who are willing to dig. Will you be the one to find the water? Success is not a destination, but a state of being that arises when we align our deepest values with our most persistent and focused actions. What was once a barren wasteland is now a sanctuary of growth, a reminder that life is always waiting for an invitation to return home. One man's breakthrough becomes a community's opportunity as the ripple effect of a single success begins to transform the lives of everyone nearby. To see others benefit from your struggle is the highest form of reward, a satisfaction that transcends the mere acquisition of personal wealth or fame. The universe is contained in the smallest details of our success, the microscopic victories that pave the way for the macroscopic changes in our lives. When we work with the earth instead of against it, we create a harmony that sustains us long after the initial effort has been completed. Stories are the bridges between generations, and the story of the well digger will be told to inspire those who face their own future deserts. The greatest legacy is not the water itself, but the belief that we are not helpless, that we can change our reality through our work. Reliability is the hallmark of a true achievement. The well is there every day, providing for the needs of those who once doubted its existence. Time refines the character of the persistent, smoothing the rough edges of ambition into the polished surfaces of a wise and contented soul. Cooperation is the natural result of individual excellence. When one person shows the way, others will naturally follow to build a better world together. The desert at night is no longer a place of fear, but a place of rest, protected by the life-giving source that was found in the dark. From a distance, we see the power of a single point of light to transform the surrounding darkness into a place of beauty and hope. Our efforts are never truly lost. They are woven into the fabric of the universe, contributing to the eternal dance of creation and the rebirth. Even the smallest creatures benefit from the courage of the great, as the circle of life expands to include all who seek its nourishment. Honoring the tools of our struggle is a way of staying grounded, remembering that every success was built on a foundation of hard work. The well is a mirror to the soul, reflecting back the clarity and the depth of the person who was brave enough to dig into it. Transformation is a total process, affecting not just the landscape, but the very spirit of the people who inhabit the land we have changed. The future is literally in our hands, shaped by the choices we make today to either complain about the heat or dig for the water. Let the story of the well digger be the wind in your sails, the fire in your heart, and the shovel in your determined and capable hands. In our modern world, the desert is no longer made of sand, but of deadlines, digital noise, and the deep isolation of the crowd. We find ourselves parched in a different way, thirsting for meaning and connection in a landscape that often feels cold and very indifferent to us. The drought of the soul is just as dangerous as the drought of the land, leading to a state of collective prayer for a quick fix. We wait for someone else to change our lives, for a promotion, a miracle, or a lottery win to save us from our own stagnation. But the secret remains the same. You must be the one to start digging where you stand, regardless of how deep the water might be. The obstacles in our path are often the very places where we need to start our work, the rocks that hide our own internal springs. It is easier to complain about the rock than to move it, but only those who move it will ever see what lies underneath its weight. Digging your well might mean having the hard conversations you've been avoiding, or facing the failures you've been trying so hard to hide from others. It means doing the internal work, the quiet labor of the spirit that eventually manifests as external success and a sense of true and deep peace. Success is universal. It belongs to anyone who is willing to put in the time, the effort, and the sweat required to reach the source. The desert of the city can be just as fertile as the desert of the sand if you have the right mindset and the right tools. Once you have found your own water, your next task is to help others find theirs, creating a network of oases in the modern world's expanse. Every day is a new opportunity to dig, a new chance to prove that the drought of your life is only temporary if you act now. Small acts of care are the seeds of large transformations, the way we prove to ourselves that we have the power to sustain life around us. The view from the top is only possible because of the climb, and the climb is only possible because you chose to take the first step. Let your purpose be your compass, and let your work be the engine that drives you toward the water you know is waiting for you. We all have stones in our path, obstacles that we use as excuses for our own lack of progress and our own deep-seated, hidden fears. Don't let the fear of being called a fool keep you on the surface. The most beautiful things are often found deep beneath the earth's floor. The shovel is in your hand. The ground is beneath your feet. The desert is waiting. Will you start digging today, or will you wait? Share your challenges in the comments below so we can support each other in our journeys toward finding the hidden water in our lives today. Thank you for joining us on this journey of the Spirit. May your own path be filled with the strength to overcome every single obstacle. Subscribe to stay connected to the stories that remind us of our power. And remember that even in the desert, hope is a choice you make. Every great change begins with a single drop. Be that drop. Be the one who digs. Be the one who brings the water back home. I hope you find the hidden spring within your own soul. May your persistence lead you to the life-giving water you have been searching for.